On the screen, you can see our jobs and tasks calendar view. This is where you can manage all of your tasks over your entire organization for all child sites. You can see by day how many tasks have been assigned, and you can see past tasks, current tasks, and upcoming tasks. You can filter via the departments across your organization. You can filter by corrective action type. I'll come back to this later. And you can filter by the site as well. There are additional filters such as status and priority as well. Now, to view the tasks, you can click on the day and it will bring up a list of all the tasks that are due today across all sites in your organization. Now, we can view the task information, start date, end date, and the instructions. And this one has already been completed. If we go back to one that has not been completed, you can mark it as complete if you know it's been complete here, or you can go and complete the task if it has a form attached to it, like a checklist, an audit, risk assessment. Now, to add a task, you click the Add Task button. You can either select an individual site or multiple sites, or you can assign to all tasks. You then select the departments that you wish the task to be assigned to. Again, it can be multiple. At this point, we're just going to select one and we're going to do site admin. And we want this site admin user to create a form. Like so. Just going back to the users and departments, if you wish to go a bit more granular and select a user within that department, you can use this optional user assignment. And you can select an actual user that has that role assigned to it. Now, give it a name. And we'll give it a start date of the 4th of Feb. And we want it to start at 9 a.m. and finish on the 4th of Feb and finish by 10 a.m. You can set the priority, and that's really only used for your sort of benefit to understand and filter based on the priority. We'll keep it as medium. There you can add your comments or instructions or any information that is needed for the task in hand. Now, if this task was a recurring task, you can change the frequency. So you can change it to a daily task and it runs every day, weekly, and you can select what day it runs on, and monthly, and you can select what day of the month that it runs on. You can also have tasks that run or span over multiple days. But for now, we're just going to do a non-recurrence, one-off task. Now, we are building and creating this task within the HQ site, and we've assigned it to a child site user to complete. This is the mobile app. And what will happen is the user will get a notification come through to their mobile app, or via email or via text message. However, the organization has set up notifications. Once they log into the app, they'll be able to see all their tasks and their checklists. Now, and here is the notification that we've just assigned. That means we can then go into my tasks, and under my task, you'll see the audit that we've just created. They can then open up the audit, and you'll see a nice, clean, easy to follow UI for an audit form. Now, these are sliding scales, which the user can use to grade any of the questions that have been asked. If, for example, a question is very poor and they feel that there is some additional work to be done, then they can create a corrective action. They can give it a date. So bear in mind this was due to be taken on the 4th of Feb, so we'll do it right in the future. We'll say for the 6th of Feb for 9 a.m. and we'll do again end date 6th of Feb for 10 a.m. Comments and instructions exactly the same as how we just did for the task creation. This could be used to give any form of information that's required. Please fix tab. Ooh. At this point, the user can then assign this task to a user. So let's assign that to Tim Smith. And then on top of that, I didn't select it, my bad. On top of that, you can then assign an escalation user. So if this task is not completed on time or it's overdue or whatever reason, you can assign it to an administrator or a site manager, area manager, whoever is in charge of that department to keep an eye on the task in hand. So you can create a task like so. That will also then notify Tim Smith that he has a new task to complete, and that will appear on his mobile app or in his web dashboard. The user can also upload photos, videos, and any files for supporting evidence. So let's upload a picture here. They can also annotate, so they can draw, they can add text, move that text around, they can add arrows, they can do multiple things, or they can just skip it. So let's save and upload that image. The images will be attached to the form submission and will be stored in the cloud to be accessed at any point in time. So we'll continue doing the form quickly. So at the end of the form, the auditor can sign off and the manager can sign off. And then you have your total audit score at the bottom there. We can also allow the user to add comments to the audit form. So if there's anything that they feel they need to raise around the entire process of the audit, they can do here. And then they're in the web app on the dashboard. When you view the submissions, the users have the opportunity to reply to comments. So we can then submit that checklist, like so. There you go. And now we can switch back over to the parent site. Now we can take a look at the corrective actions. We have a separate section within the jobs and task calendar where all the actions created through all form submissions, that could be a risk assessment, an incident report, an audit, or standard checklist, comes in here. So it's easily trackable and easily managed. The HQ user can see an organisational view of all actions across all sites. They can filter by site, by action type, by the department, by the user itself, the status, and you've got date ranges. So we can see down here that the last action that was created was us a few minutes ago. You can see that it was assigned to Tim Smith, that is upcoming, and it's due on the 6th of Feb. Now this UI also allows a quick glance at ones that are overdue, due today, and upcoming, and the priority. So if we go in and view the corrective action, this action will display all of the information linked to the task that we have just assigned to Tim Smith. So you've got the user that created it, the assigned to user, the escalation user. You can see any descriptions or comments or instructions here, the start date, the due date, and when it was created. You can also see the form that it was created in and the submission it was created within. So we can now go and view that submission. And in the submission, you'll see all of the scores that were submitted, the image that was uploaded, the task details that this form was linked to, the user details that the user that submitted the data. You've got the comments that were left by the user, and you have each section total score. As you scroll down, you'll also see the signatures, the overall score, and then back to the action that was created and linked to the question that we have here. And that allows you to then go back to the action. So we've got that full circle. Now, if we come back to the corrective actions list, you will also see a reports button. Now, this just gives you a little bit of analytics based around the actions. So you can go deep into this data and really use it to your benefit. So at a quick glance, you can see actions completed over time. Zoom in and 15 actions. You can see the completion rate over time, overdue action trends, action by sites. So child site 2 has a lot of corrective actions. The completion rate by site, overdue actions by site, action by type, and the priority. The average completion time. And then you've got the compliance scores linked to each action. And you've got the overdue actions as well. So you can quickly grab, copy and paste the ones that are overdue with a high priority and make sure they get sorted first. Reoccurring issues by site. So, the same actions that keep cropping up across the different sites. You can quite clearly see, child site 2 has a lot more issues than any others. Maybe we need to investigate child site 2 to see what the problem is. And then you've got the top problem questions. So you've got the question is cleaning schedules, and this is just dummy data, but it shows you that the question that's being asked on a regular basis is always needing a corrective action. So you can really narrow down what the issue is within each, not only site, but each department and each area. And then you've got the AI summary here, which basically collects all that data that we've gathered and gives you a little bit of an overview of what's going on, any recommendations. It says here that we could tell ourselves, child site 2 requires immediate attention. Well, yes, it does. You could tell by the charts alone that there's definitely a problem going on with child site 2. That is our jobs and tasks system wrapped up with the corrective actions, the tracking, and the analytics.